on the front of the jersey. Vermont in the home whites. Urquhart and Asamoah to take the tip. Urquhart again replacing Peyton Henson. Ball squirts up in the air and tapped to the left side, and Asamoah grabs it for Harvard, and the Crimson have possession. 5 consecutive wins for Harvard entering tonight. A perfect month of December. Siani Chambers, left wing extended, the senior point guard from Golden Valley, Minnesota. He runs the court for the Crimson. Nearly 20 seconds in, we are scoreless. Vermont and Harvard. Chambers, top of the key, lobs it to the right block for Chris Lewis. Pivots on Lamb, passes down low at Asamoah, tipped away. 1 on the shot clock. Fadeaway jump shot from Asamoah is no good. It goes out of bounds, and a last touched by Harvard. It's Catamount basketball, and they'll get their first possession of this game. Coach Becker off to a 9-5 start for the Catamounts. Their best start under Coach Becker. 40 seconds in, we are scoreless between Vermont and Harvard. Duncan, free throw line, head fakes, throws left wing. Trey Bell-Haynes, the captain. Bounce feed, free throw line. Drew Urquhart pivots, left wing, pass top of the key. Now is Duncan, 10 on the timer. Bell-Haynes drives down the center lane, floater up off the back iron. Lim gets the offensive rebound, he explodes up. His shot is too long, knocked out of bounds. Last touched by the Crimson. Vermont keeps possession with 27 seconds on the shot clock. We are 1 minute and 4 seconds in, still scoreless between Vermont and Harvard in the final non-conference game of the season. Lamb receives the pass, left elbow, throws Urquhart right wing. Duncan inside the three-point line, straight away, leaves off for Lamb. Jump shot 15 feet away, hits. Vermont on the board first, 2-0. 1 minute 15 seconds in from Patrick Jim in the final non-conference game. Nearly stripped Seth Towns, regathers it, and Siani Chambers at the right wing throws Corey Johnson, top of the circle, team's leader in threes. 1 minute 30 seconds in, 2-0. Vermont leads. That changes. Seth Towns knocks down a jumper. Deadlocked at 2. Early on in this game, Vermont and Harvard. Last year, these two teams concluded the non-conference against each other. Bell-Haynes, close, stolen away nearly by Asamoah. But back to Vermont. Steidel, left corner. Throws it left wing, Ernie Duncan. 9 on the timer for Vermont. Backdoor feed, Steidel lefty layup, and he's hacked on the way. Bucket doesn't go, we'll go to the line. Kurt Steidel has been really struggling of late. Looking to get assertive early in this game. 2 minutes in, 2-2 is your score between Vermont and Harvard. Kurt Steidel will have a pair at the free throw line. The senior from Ridgefield, Connecticut, sinks the first. He is an 89% free throw shooter this season, 17 of 19 from the line. Coming in, averaging a little more than 7 points per game. The senior 2 for 2 from the line. 4-2 Vermont leads. 2 minutes gone by. Chambers deposits right wing Seth Towns out top of the key at Asamoah. Adosamoah. Now it's Towns, fadeaway 15-foot jump shot, knocks it down. Seth Towns, back-to-back buckets. He has all of Harvard's 4. It's a 4-4 score. 2 minutes and 30 seconds in. Bell-Haynes, right wing, spins out. Now bounce feed, Lamb near side, 15-foot jump shot, uses the square, but it doesn't go. Offensive put back good from Urquhart. Drew Urquhart has stepped into the starting role for Vermont. And this is his 4th consecutive start with the injured Peyton Henson out, the team's leading scorer. And Urquhart has stepped in nicely. 6-4, Vermont leads, nearly 3 minutes gone by. Chambers, bounce feed. It's Davis, head fakes right block, uses the left hand and swoops it home. Chris Lewis with his first bucket, 6-6. The two teams go back and forth early on. From Patrick Jim, a packed house tonight to ring in 2017. Bell-Haynes motors down left alley, out to Duncan, corner for 3, got it. Good sign when Duncan knocks his first triple down. A 9-6 lead for Vermont. 3 minutes and 20 seconds gone by. Seth Towns receives the pass top of the key. Deposits right wing, Siani Chambers. Jump throw to Towns left wing, already with 4 points in this game. Darts down near the free throw line, bounce pass off of Chris Lewis's foot. It'll stay, though, with Harvard. It went off of Lamb after it pinballed off Chris Lewis. 3.5 minutes gone by. First half, 9-6. Vermont leads Harvard. Towns receives the inbounds pass near side baseline. 10 on the shot clock. Johnson, top of the key. Overhand pass, Towns left wing. 5 on the timer. Seth Towns has to hurry. 4 on the timer. Free throw line jumper. A whistle beforehand. Looks like they're going to tag Kurt Steidl, his first and the team's first. Harvard red hot of late. They've won 5 consecutive games. Did not lose a game in the month of December. Led by senior guard Siani Chambers, who prepares to inbound the ball. Underneath the hoop, a fresh 30. The inbounds goes to Bryce Aiken, a talented freshman who just checks in for head coach Tommy Amaker, the winningest coach in Harvard history. 4 minutes in, 9-6 Vermont with the early lead. Bounce feed, Edosimwa, left block layup, doesn't go. Still loose on the deck. Lamb tied up with Edosimwa, and Lewis rather. And the Catamounts with an early 9-6 lead. We have reached our first media timeout. 9-6 is your score. Catamounts in their final today for more information. 9-6 is your score. Vermont leads. 4 minutes in. Catamounts wrapping up the non-conference slate tonight against Harvard, trying to get to 10-5 on the season. Lamb near side baseline, backing down the freshman Seth Towns, a freshman on freshman matchup, and Lamb wins it inside. A bunny hook is good. 11-6 Vermont with the lead over Harvard. Right wing Bryce Aiken, the talented freshman, deposits left wing Siani Chambers. Back to Aiken, the two-play pitch and catch. Good defense from the Catamounts on this sequence out of the media timeout. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Chambers rises for 3 left wing. Back iron, ball soars up in the air. Urquhart rips it down with contact out to Bell Haynes. He's a 1-on-3. He'll pull it out with 3 black jerseys guarding Bell Haynes. Slows the tempo. The junior guard from Ontario, averaging more than 10 points per game. At the left wing, Bell Haynes, bounce feed Lamb, near side. The freshman, backing down Towns, righty hook. This time goes again. Working on Seth Towns, back-to-back buckets for Lamb. It's 13-6, Vermont leads. A 4-0 run out of the media timeouts. Jump shot from Towns inside the free throw line. Back of the iron, rebound Vermont. Ernie Duncan, right wing. Throws top of the key to Lamb, back to Duncan. Deposits far baseline for Urquhart. Head fakes, goes up. They're going to call an offensive foul on Drew Urquhart, his first. The junior Urquhart was able to get his defender up in the air, but does commit the personal on the offensive end. Cats on a 7-0 run right now. Into the game for the first time for the Crimson, Tommy McCarthy, sophomore guard. Bryce Aiken will receive the inbounds pass. 13-6 lead for Vermont over Harvard. 14:24 to go in the first. Trey Wills into the game for the first time for Vermont. McCarthy throws top of the key. Chris Lewis, 6'9", forward for the Crimson. Also into the game for the first time, Justin Bassey for the Crimson. 10 to shoot for Harvard. McCarthy top of the key. Throws right wing Bassey. Free throw line jumper. Rattles home. That ends the 7-0 run for Vermont. 13-8. Catamounts still lead. 13:55 to go first half from Patrick Jim. Bringing in the new year in 2017. The Cats trying to close the non-conference slate with a 10-5 record. It would be the most non-conference wins since the 09-2010 season. Cam Ward slashes right side near the wing. Throws to Kurt Steidl. Top of the key for Bell Haynes. He sprints down the right alley. Little floater in and out. Ball tipped around. Lewis snatches it. And a foul to boot. Chris Lewis, one of the big bodies down low for the Crimson. That foul goes against Trey Bell Haynes, his first and the team's third. Harvard is coached by Tommy Amaker, who's in his 10th season, graduated from Duke in 1987. Played basketball under Mike Krzyzewski, of course. A 4-year starter, and he has really brought this Harvard program to the heights of mid-major teams. Tommy McCarthy, top of the key, throws left wing Towns. 10 to shoot for Harvard. Towns drives down the center lane. Righty hook, rejected by Darren Payen. The crowd explodes to their feet. Belhanes in transition. Throws to Wills, baseline, far side. Picks up his dribble, bounces left wing. Steidel over to Ward, right wing. Slashes down the right alley, bounces to Wills. Reverse layup. Right block doesn't go, but a foul. And Trey Wills, his senior from Indianapolis, will head to the free throw line. That was an awkward angle for Trey Wills to even have a chance to get that up. But he'll go to the free throw line. The personal foul goes against Tommy McCarthy, his first and the team's fourth. Trey Wills, the senior, at the free throw line, not the best free throw shooter. Around 52% for the senior. And he front rims the first. Josh Herlihy will check into the game for the first time. Transfer from Tulane, also has ties with Zena Edosamwan. They both went to high school together. Both started at Harvard Westlake in Los Angeles and then went to Northfield Mount Herman Prep School. Trey Wills goes 1 of 2 from the line. 14-8 is your score. Vermont leads Harvard. 12:48 to go in the first. From Patrick Jim, 2017, the calendar year underway for the Cats here tonight. Bryce Aiken, right wing extended. Team's leading scorer. Flashy spin move. Lefty block layup is good off the window. Bryce Aiken, his first field goal. Averages more than 14 points per game, and Harvard trims the lead to just 4. 14-10 Cats. Cam Ward, bounce feed, left block. Darren Payen lays it in off the square. DP had a season high 17 points last time out in Vermont's 76-60 win over Siena. And his first bucket there, 16-10, Cats lead. 12 minutes to go first half. Three-point try from the corner is good from Justin Bassey. That's just the 4th three of the season for Bassey. Now 4 of 13 from downtown, a little more than 25%. 3-point lead for Vermont, 16-13. 11:49 to go first half from Patrick Jim. Josh Herlihy left wing, head fake, slashes down left alley, bounces for Wills. To Ward near corner, inside the key, draws contact, layup doesn't go, tip job from Payen, off back iron, rebound McCarthy for the Crimson. 3-point lead for Vermont, 11:31 to go in this first half from Patrick Jim. Bassey down the left alley, pulls out and Harvard slows the pace. Chris Egge into the game for the first time for the Crimson. 15 to shoot, Aiken fadeaway, 15-foot jumper from the baseline is good. Bryce Aiken coming off a 23-point performance in Harvard's 67-46 win over Howard on a couple of days ago. Lead trimmed to 1, 16-15. Vermont leads. Darren Payen looking to be assertive. Turnaround shot is good from 5 feet away. Lead back up to 3 for Vermont, and Darren Payen has knocked down 2 field goals in this game, 4 points. Leading candidate early from Morgan Stanley Player of the Game. 18-15 lead for Vermont, 10:43 to go in this first half. Herlihy blocks a backdoor pass, deflected to Bassey. Crimson will reset, still though with only 10 to shoot. Aiken, top of the key, 8 to shoot. Aiken drives down the right alley. Floater blocked by Darren Payen. But they are going to say it's a goaltending on the redshirt senior. It was on the way down. That was a heck of an athletic up from DP, but every 3-point shot that the Catamounts make during the regular season home games, People's United Bank, what know, how can do, member FDIC. Trey Belhanes, slow walk across midcourt, still without a field goal for the junior. The Catamounts shooting an impressive 61% so far, 8 of 13. Duncan catches the pass left wing from Belhanes, 10 to shoot. Belhanes right wing at the free throw line, lob to Urquhart, taps it up from the block, doesn't go. Rebound Harvard in transition, looking to push. Bassey is called for the offensive foul at the right block. That's his first and the team's 5th. At the midway point of this first half, 18-17, Vermont leads over the Harvard Crimson, a team that's won 5 consecutive games after losing 4 of their first 5 to begin the year. It's a Harvard program that has so much success in the Ivy League over the last several years. 5 NCAA tournament appearances and 4 of them from 2011 to 2015. Belhanes at the right wing, deposits right baseline for Steidel. Now Lamb inside the post. Out to Steidl, a three, got it. Kurt Steidl did not make a three-pointer the last two games. He knocks his first try here. 21-17, Vermont leads. Belhanes jumps over the scorer's table to save the ball. Catamounts, though, will remain on defense. A couple of substitutions for Harvard. Azina Ndosamwan checks into the game, as well as Corey Johnson. Bryce Aiken, top of the key, guarded by Ernie Duncan. 9:28 to go, first half, 21-17, Vermont leads. Ndosamwan looking to give it off to Chambers, top of the circle. Jump shot, front rim, tipped around. Belhanes corrals it as Ndosamwan hits the deck hard. Really physical play down low with Urquhart and Ndosamwan. Left block layup from Urquhart is good off the pass from Belhanes. Belhanes leads this team in assists, nearly 4 a game, and Urquhart with his second bucket. Aiken tries a three straight away and knocks it down. Bryce Aiken answers the bell, the team's leading scorer, more than 14 a game. He's already with 9. 23-20, Vermont leads, 8:48 to go, first half from Patrick Jim. Urquhart, right elbow, head fakes, deposits to Ernie Duncan, has to catch it here in the midcourt area. 11 to shoot. Duncan prepares to attack. Top of the key. Ball screen from Urquhart. Left wing Duncan. 5 on the timer. Bounces for Urquhart. Right elbow behind the back dribble. 2 on the timer. His shot doesn't go. Rejected and taken away. Robert Baker for Harvard. On the attack, here comes the Crimson. Baker tries a three from the left wing and swirls it down. We are tied at 23. Off the bench, Robert Baker, the freshman, 6'10". Conclude the non-conference slate with their 10th non-conference victory. It would be the most since the 2009-2010 season. We're back underway, deadlocked at 23. With 8 minutes and 8 seconds to go, first half. Belhanes deposits top of the key. Anthony Lamb, little head fake, now rises up for 2. In and out, to rebound Baker for Harvard. The outlets for Bryce Aiken, a talented freshman, right wing extended. Around the perimeter, Siani Chambers. Lost it momentarily at the free throw line. Chambers throws to Aiken, right wing extended. Guarded by Duncan. Bryce Aiken early with 9 points to lead all scores at the free throw line. Pushes down Duncan. Ball is loose underneath, out of bounds. Last touch by the Crimson, Vermont ball. Dre Wills summoned off the floor, off the bench. 23 all, Catamounts and the Crimson. The last time Harvard came to Burlington, 2014. Vermont and Harvard went to double overtime. That's the last time Vermont played a game in either overtime or double OT. Kurt Steidl, bounce feed top of the key. Urquhart throws left wing, Belhanes, the junior. Bounce feed, Wills, left block. Backs down Siani Chambers, now double team. To the top of the key, Steidl, 9 on the shot clock. Steidl, Euro step, right block, layup, no good, but a foul will go to the line. Kurt Steidl being assertive early in this game. With 5 points for the senior, he's really struggled, especially from downtown, his strong suit. In what is now his 4th and final season with Vermont. Steidl just shooting 28% from downtown heading into this game. He's at the free throw line, this senior. Strokes the first one through. And so Vermont leads 24-23. Kurt Steidl inching closer and closer to 1,000 points. He's got 6 here tonight. 18 shy of 1,000. 24-23, Vermont with the lead as Steidl missed the second free throw. Chris Lewis, 15 feet near side, matched up with Urquhart. Spins, lefty hook is down. Chris Lewis, the big body down low, 6'9", 230-pound freshman from Alpharetta, Georgia. And Harvard grabs the lead, 25-24, the Crimson. Urquhart, free throw line, rises for 2, back iron, and drops down afterwards. Urquhart with a total of 6 points. 26-25, Vermont regains the lead. Aiken deposits right elbow. Robert Baker on Nate Rohr, who just checked into the game for the first time. The junior, 6:24 to go first half, 26-25. Vermont leads. Bounce pass to Lewis, the right block, and a whistle, a foul called on Vermont. That was a great play from Siani Chambers, using the vision to find the open man. Seth Towns, freshman from Columbus, Ohio, will replace Robert Baker. 13 of the 20 players on Harvard's roster underclassmen, either freshmen or sophomores. 6:13 to go first half, 26-25. Vermont leads. Towns misses a left wing three. Down to Bell Haynes for the Catamounts, leading by a point, coming up on 6 minutes to go first half. Nate Rohr, head fakes at the baseline. Finds a cutting Dre Wills, a scoop and a score. And a timeout taken by Harvard. Tommy Amaker wants to discuss. 3-point lead for Vermont, 28-25. This will act as a 30-second timeout, so we will keep it here. Two players for the Cats with 6 points. Drew Urquhart, as well as Kurt Steidel, and you can't forget Anthony Lamb off the bench. Right now he's on the bench with 6 points. And a 3-point lead for Vermont. Both teams shooting at a high percentage, 61% for Harvard. Vermont down at 55%. Cats have only taken 2 threes, but they made both of them. It's a Vermont team that is 6 for 30 in their last 2 games from distance, just 20%. Not a bad way to start knocking down your first 3-pointer attempts. Both of them back on the floor, less than 6 to play till halftime, 28-25. Vermont with the advantage in their final non-conference game. Siani Chambers, hard chest pass, Johnson throws it to Towns, right wing. And he bumps off of Rohr, but they're going to call the foul on Nate Rohr. That is his second personal. And the 15th foul on Vermont. Josh Herlihy jumps off the bench, and he'll come in to transfer from Tulane. Redshirt junior out of Los Angeles, California. Seth Towns to inbound, throws it for Chambers, top of the key, the quarterback of this offense for the Crimson. Johnson, bounce feed Towns, 15-foot jump shot, strong off back iron, and the strong rebound goes to Cam Ward for Vermont. 5:29 to go first half. Cats lead by 3, 28-25. Herlihy near baseline, matched up with Seth Towns. Josh pedals near the free throw line, out to Cam Ward. And the Cats will slow the pace. 14 on the shot clock, 5:15 game clock. Ward dashes down the left alley, out to Steidel left wing. Free throw line jumper blocked by Johnson. Ball loose, and Johnson has it. Now it kicks off of the knee of Johnson all the way back for Wills to recover. And the Cat fans applaud the hustle. Fresh shot clock for Vermont. 28-25 lead over Harvard. 4:53 to go first half, and a whistle, a bump as Bryce Aiken, a little bit too physical with Dre Wills. That's the first personal on Aiken. One of the top freshmen on this Harvard team. A Harvard roster that has so much youth, and then one leader in Siani Chambers, the senior, who made his 100th career start today. Darren Payen, right block, lefty hook shot, front rim. Herlihy rips down the O-board. Out to Steidel left wing, head fakes. Pivots in the lane, out to Herlihy, top of the key. And the Catamounts getting another opportunity off the glass. Herlihy responding with some quality minutes off the bench. 28-25, Vermont leads, 4:22 to go first half from Patrick Jim. Payen receives the pass, right block, working on Lewis. Turnaround shot, uses the bank, and it's knocked down. Darren Payen, 6 points. That is the 4th Vermont player to score at least 6 tonight. Talk about distribution of the offense. Bryce Aiken, floater from 4 feet away, good. Aiken counters, and he's in double figures already with 11. That 3-point lead still for Vermont, 30-27. 3:47 to go first half from Patrick Jim. Vermont trying to get to 10-5 on the season. Harvard looking for their 6th straight win. Darren Payen, left block, has it stripped away by Lewis. but recovered by Payen on the scrum. Ward launches a 3-ball straightaway back iron. Johnson snares down the rebound for the Crimson. Loose balls galore in this first half. And not many turnovers, just 4 total. 3 for Harvard, 1 for Vermont. Johnson, top of the key. Delivers right wing. Bryce Aiken rises for 3 straight away, and Aiken is having a game in the first half. Bryce Aiken with 14 points. That's right around his average this season. Claps his hands, trying to motivate this Harvard team and get their 6th straight win. We are deadlocked at 30. Darren Payen, hop, skip in the lane, bounce feed. Wills reverse block layup, true off the glass. And Vermont has the answer from every phone call Harvard brings, 32-30. Pass deflected, recovered by Johnson for the Crimson. With 19 to shoot for the Crimson. 2:36 to go in a fast-paced first half. From Patrick Jim, Vermont leads by 2. Siani Chambers dashes down the left alley, out to Towns, 3 from the corner. Back iron, and Cam Ward snatches the rebound at just 6'2". Out in transition, Herlihy right wing. Puts a break on it. Cam Ward top of the key. Throws it past to Darren Payen. Left elbow jump shot, back iron. DP being aggressive in this first half. Siani Chambers on the other end, lost control, but regathered the ball. And Bryce Aiken with possession, top of the key. Fadeaway shot, and the crowd wanted to travel. Ball loose, Cam Ward comes down with it, and Vermont has possession. Darren Payen, 3 of 6 in this first half. He took 7 shots last time out against Siena, made 6 of them. Darren Payen gets the lob, left block, explodes up for 2. Darren Payen off the bench with 8 points, and that is a great sign for Vermont without Peyton Henson for the 4th straight game. 1:29 to go, first half, 34-30, Vermont leads Harvard. Corey Johnson hands off to Chris Lewis, far baseline. Johnson, give and go with Lewis, a little runner. Offensive foul in the key. Josh Herlihy sacrificing the body. And with $1:17 to go in the 8th, they're outscoring Harvard in the paint 20-10 thus far. Bell Haynes, Lamb, Urquhart, Wills, and Duncan, the 5 on the floor for Vermont. In the final minute and change of the first half. 20 on the shot clock. Bell Haynes, his shot right block, swatted away by Zena and Dosamois. It's out of bounds, though, recovered by the Cats. Trey Wills to inbound. Darren Payen, a leading candidate for a Morgan Stanley Player of the Game, with a team-high 8 points. 34-30, the final minute of play in the first half. Lamb receives the pass, left block off his fingertip. Harvard ball. 3 players with 6 points, Lamb, Urquhart, and Steidel. And Darren Payen leads the team with 8. Bryce Aiken carrying the load for the Crimson with 14. He had 23 points last time out against Howard. Crimson looking for their 6th straight win. 50 seconds left first half. Cats lead by 4, 34-30. Bryce Aiken catches the pass, top of the key, guarded by Dre Wills at the right wing. Aiken, backpedal, soccer pass, left wing extended, Chambers, 11 to shoot. Chambers rises for 3 and hits, plus the foul. From the left wing, a big fist pump from Siani Chambers. And he will go to the line. The foul goes against Trey Bell Haynes, who has 2 assists in this game, still without a field goal for the junior. Here's Siani Chambers, such a talented player, missed last season with a torn ACL while interning at Adidas. A very unfortunate injury. He does miss the opportunity for the 4-point play here. But Chambers, because in the Ivy League you cannot take a red shirt, you have to legitimately relieve yourself from all activity at the school. He took a leave of absence, no red shirt, because no scholarships. And Chambers in his 4th and final year, as there was a foul on the play on Harvard, so Anthony Lamb will go to the free throw line to shoot a 1-and-1, the freshman from Rochester. With 6 points thus far, make that 7 as he knocks home the front end of the 1-1. Kurt Steinel comes into the game to replace Cam Ward. Catamounts taking care of the basketball. Just 2 turnovers in this first half. 35-33 lead for Vermont. Make it a 3-point lead for the Cats as Lamb is 2 for 2 with 8 points to match Darren Payen. 36-33. Vermont with the advantage. 29 seconds left first half. Justin Bassey, left wing extended, throws to Aiken at the left wing. The freshman with 14 points thus far. 19 to shoot on the game clock. And now 11 actually on the shot clock. Adosamoah sets a screen, top of the key. Lost control. Aiken double clutch shot, batted down, out of bounds, underneath the hoop. Vermont ball. An entertaining first half with 9.9 seconds left in the first. Vermont can hold for the final shot, and Bell Haynes comes in. This crowd is loving it. Ringing in the new year with style so far. Packed house at Patrick. 9.9 seconds left first half. Bell Haynes absorbs some contact, lost the ball around midcourt. 5 seconds left. Bell Haynes, top of the key, rises for 3, in and out, and knocks out of play, and that is it for the first half. Highly entertaining first half at Patrick Gym. 36-33. Vermont turns the ball over just off the bench. Remember in the game against Siena, DP had a season-high 17 points. As we are back underway for the second half here at Patrick Gym, Siani Chambers bounces for Adosamoah at the top of the key, the 6'9" forward. Down low left block, Lewis double teams, leaves it off from Adosamoah, who goes up and is hacked. Anthony Lamb raises his left paw, saying that was me. And Zena Adosamoah will head to the free throw line. A 3-point lead for Vermont, 13 seconds into the second half. Adosamoah, 6'9", 247-pound senior from Los Angeles. A very talented senior as he misses the front end of the 2-shot foul. Went to Harvard Westlake High School. That's the same high school as Vermont player Josh Hurley, and also went to prep school following a couple of years at Harvard Westlake. Northfield Mount Herman. And Adosamoah goes 1 of 2 from the line. And Adosamoah and Hurley, not buddy-buddy, but they definitely know each other, obviously, coming from the same high school and in the same town. 2-point lead for Vermont, 36-34, and the ball goes off of Urquhart's foot into the backcourt, a backcourt violation. Crimson ball. In the first half, Vermont only turned the ball over twice, a season low. Taking care of the basketball. 2-point lead for Vermont. 36-34, 30 seconds into the second half. Towns, right wing. Jab step on Steidel, throws to Chambers near baseline. Adosamoah, top of the key. Back to Chambers. Did not have an assist in the first half. Bounces to Lewis, right block layup. Doesn't go. And they're going to call a blocking foul on Urquhart. So clearly the bigs for Harvard out of the gates in this second half, looking to be aggressive. And Adosamoah and now Chris Lewis at the free throw line. A talented freshman at 6'9", 235. Lewis from Alpharetta, Georgia. A McDonald's All-American nominee. And his father, Mo Lewis, played 13 years for the New York Jets back in the early 2000s. Rainbow-style free throw attempt goes in the front end of the 2-shot foul. Mo Lewis is Chris's father, and he's known for tackling Drew Bledsoe. And that was the injury to Drew Bledsoe, which resulted in Tom Brady getting the start, and ultimately, well, you know the rest is history. But Mo Lewis tackled Drew Bledsoe, and that was the injury on Bledsoe. And here Chris Lewis goes 2 for 2 from the line. We are deadlocked at 36, a minute into the second half. Duncan, top of the key. He has 1 3 in this game. To Bell Haynes, left wing, scoreless in the first half. Hop, skip, left block layup, too strong. Offensive board, Lamb, left block layup, doesn't go. Tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Vermont, and the fans can't believe it. Neither can Coach Becker. And they're going to reverse the call and say it is Vermont ball. The Crimson and the Cats deadlocked at 36. A minute and 12 seconds into the second frame from Patrick Jim as the officials are discussing. And will look like they'll go to the monitor to review this to see who it went off of with 5 seconds on the shot clock if it does remain with Vermont. The Catamounts team that did not take many threes in the first half, 2 of 4 from downtown. That was something at the top in the opener coming in during the pregame show that we discussed, with the fact that Vermont just 20% in their last 2 games from downtown, 6 of 30. But 2 of 4 thus far. I'd like to remind everyone, of course, that Vermont men's basketball this season is brought to you by Cannon Solutions America. 36 apiece. The officials still looking over there at the monitor. Harvard and Vermont, they've been playing quite a bit over the last several years. This is the 31st meeting all time. And the Crimson come in scorching hot. They've won 5 straight games, a perfect month of December. They're going to say it will be Vermont basketball. So, and actually they'll reset the shot clock at 30. With a minute, 12 seconds into the second half, we are deadlocked at 36. Belhanes receives the inbounds pass, top of the key, ball screen from Urquhart. Belhanes, spin move on Siani Chambers, offensive foul. And that is the 3rd personal on Trey Belhanes, who will come out of this game for Cam Ward. So we'll see how long Belhanes sits with those 3 personals. Tied at 36, a minute and 20 seconds into the second half from Patrick Jim. Corey Johnson, left wing extended, throws to Chris Lewis, top of the key. He sends it past left wing Johnson, the team's leader in 3-pointers made. 15 to shoot, Chambers, top of the key. Darts down, free throw line, skip pass looking for Lewis, who swoops in and scores. Chris Lewis gives Vermont now a deficit to look at. A 2-point lead for Harvard. To inbound, Siani Chambers appears to want to pressure Cam Ward before even bringing it across midcourt. Ward easily does bring it across. A 38-36 lead for Harvard. Nearly 2 minutes gone by, second half. Duncan, quick bounce pass, Lamb, right block, explodes up, swatted away. Fisted down from Chris Lewis, the freshman, out of bounds, last touched by Harvard. 16 on the shot clock, nearly 2 minutes gone by in the second frame. Lamb catches right elbow, throws to Urquhart, left elbow with 6 points in the first half. Duncan, 15-foot jumper, swishes it down. Ernie Duncan ties this ball game up at 38. 5 points for the redshirt sophomore. 2 minutes, 10 seconds into the second half, tied at 38 from Patrick Jim. Tic-tac-toe passing and a lay-in is good from Adosamwa. The senior, 6'9", lays it in, and Harvard regains the lead at 2. 40-38, 2.5 minutes gone by, second half from Patrick Jim. The Crimson, winners of their last 5 straight games. Urquhart, left elbow jumper, rattles in and out, ball loose. Steidel corrals the offensive rebound, and the Cats have a fresh 30. Cam Ward behind the back dribble, deposits right wing for Steidel, back to Ward, left wing. Approaching 3 minutes erased in this second half. Nifty pass from Urquhart to Lamb, reverse layup, awkward shot off the backboard, a rebound for Harvard. Crimson lead by 2, a 3-pointer from Johnson in the baseline side of the rim. Ball tipped out and recovered by the Crimson. Fans want a backcourt violation, but it appears it might have nicked off of a Vermont player's finger. 2-point lead for Harvard, 40-38. In the key, Towns. Now a baseline for Lewis, right block. Leaves it off for Adosamwa, who lifts up for 2 off the square, left block. Largest lead for Harvard is now 4, 42-38. 3 minutes, 30 seconds gone by in the second half from Patrick Jim. Kurt Steidel, right baseline, bounce feed, left block. Urquhart, little head fake, out to Steidel, top of the key, unleashes for 3, and hits. That's the second triple for Steidel in this game. He's up to 9 points to lead all Vermont players. Harvard just with a 1-point advantage, 42-41. 4 minutes gone by in the second. Seth Towns drives down the right alley, and an offensive foul. Anthony Lamb taking the charge. And we have reached another media timeout. Back and forth, 42-41. Vermont down to Harvard early on in the second half. 4 minutes and change gone by. Duncan, Rohr, Ward, Payen, and Kurt Steidel, the 5 on the floor for Vermont. Ward at the top of the key. Throws it left wing, Ernie Duncan. Triple threat position, bounce feed, Payen with 8 points off the bench for the Cats. Payen backing down in Dosunmu left block. Spin move, his shot rejected. And a jump ball. Possession will stay with Vermont though. And Dosunmu had great defense on that play. Shuffling his feet, keeping his hands up. A strong player down low at 6'9", 245 pounds. The leader in blocks on Harvard with 16. Cam Ward to inbound, 8 on the shot clock. Ward still searching, throws it to Steidel. 15-foot jumper near side, hits. Kurt Steidel double figures with 11 to lead Vermont. Cats lead by 1, 43-42. 4.5 minutes gone by in the second. Siani Chambers, right wing. His senior from Golden Valley, Minnesota. To the top of the key, Chris Lewis. Chambers. The senior rises 3, right wing, front rim. Ball tipped around. Darren Payen snares down the rebound. Out to Dre Wills, who motors across midcourt in front of a packed house at Patrick Gym to ring in the new year. Dre Wills slashes down the left alley, and he's clipped by Bryce Aiken, the freshman. His second. And the second team foul in the second half. 43-42, Vermont leads Harvard. 5 minutes gone by in the second. Bryce Aiken quiet in this second half so far. He's been scoreless, but he does lead all scorers with 14 points. Cam Ward, top of the key. Guarded by Siani Chambers. Passes for a cutting Steidel, free throw line. Deposits right block. Payen lays it in with the right hand. Darren Payen has reached double figures for the second consecutive game off the bench. Cats lead by 3, 45-42. 5:15 gone by second half. Loose ball, right wing, picked up by Aiken. He bumps Dre Wills, offensive foul. That is a big fist pump from Dre Wills, who is a defensive savvy player off the bench. That is the floor with a 3-point lead for Vermont, 45-42. 5.5 minutes gone by in this second frame. Cam Ward behind the back dribble, right wing, delivers right corner for Wills, top of the key to Ward. Remember, 3 fouls on Trey Bell Haynes, the junior captain guard. Darren Payen looks to attack, left block layup, swatted away, but they're going to call a goaltending. And DP has 12 points to match the number on his jersey. 5-point lead for Vermont. Chambers, Lewis, Dosunmu, Bassi, and Bryce Aiken, the 5 on the floor for the Crimson. Aiken on the floor with 3 fouls. Dosunmu receives the pass, top of the key. Leaves it for Chambers, top of the circle. Sends it right wing for Bassi. Less than 14 to play in this game. Cats lead by 5, 47-42. Chambers patiently awaits, deposits to Lewis, who flushes it down. Siani Chambers, who did not have an assist in the first half, averages 7, picks up a dime there. 3-point lead for Vermont, 47-44, 13:38 to go. Dre Wills, floater inside the free throw line, hits. Dre Wills with 7 off the bench. Cats seeing a lot of contribution off of their bench players. Wills with 7, Payen with 12. 49-44, Vermont leads, 13:19 to go in the game. And an offensive foul on Harvard. Head coach Tommy Amaker with his hands on his hips, searching for answers. That foul goes against Zena and Dosunmu. Just his first. Ernie Duncan checks into the game, as does Trey Bell Haynes. Vermont not taking many threes in this contest, but they're not needed thus far. Points in the paint update. Vermont 26-18 with the lead in that department. Our points in the paint update by Abel Paint Glass Flooring. You need it, they got it, and they're able. Rohr, right right block, looking to throw it down, swatted away by Ndosimwa, but Payen there to clean up the mess. 14 points for Darren Payen. 51-44, largest lead of the second half for Vermont. 12:52 to go in the second. Robert Baker, 6'10 freshman, checks into the game for Harvard. Bassey top of the key, down the middle, lost the ball, it pinballs off the shoe. Cats in transition, Wills ahead of everybody, coast to coast. Good off the square. That brings all 2,312 to their feet. Dre Wills rising his hands up in the air. 53-44, Cats lead, largest lead of the game. 12:24 to go. That was the loudest the building got all night. Bright Aiken at the right elbow, lost it, gives it to Ndosimwa, left block layup, no, Roar the rebound. Catamounts from right to left. Trey Bell-Haynes looking to push. Deposits to Duncan, lost it off his forehead and recovered by Vermont though. Bell-Haynes left wing extended will slow the pace. 8 minutes gone by, second half. 53-44 Vermont. Bell-Haynes down the left alley with contact, leaves it for Roar, who slams it down. Igniting the crowd and a happy new year indeed. 55-44 Vermont. 11:40 to go, second half. It's a Harvard team that was picked second in the Ivy League this year. And Vermont's steady. They have been driving all the way through this game with ease thus far. Bryce Aiken left wing, Hoders down the left alley, lost control. They're actually going to call a foul on Vermont. And we've reached another media timeout. Harvard looking for their 6th straight win, but Vermont's saying at it with 14 off the bench as the Cats lead 55-44, 11:23 to go in the second. McCarthy receives the pass top of the key for Harvard as the Crimson had the lead 40-38, but since then it's been all Vermont. Seth Towns down the right alley with contact, lays it in and the foul. The freshman will go to the free throw line. Vermont went on a 17-2 run before that bucket went down from Seth Towns. So that just goes to show you how over the last 3 minutes and change, Vermont has dominated this game. Nate Rohr will come out. Josh Herlihy is in. 11:09 to play, second half, 55-46. Vermont leads. Seth Towns at the free throw line, a 4-star recruit freshman from Columbus, Ohio. Went to the same high school as Trey Burke and Jared Sullinger. Burke, of course, played his college career at Michigan, Sullinger at Ohio State. And Towns got offers to play at both of those schools, but went to Harvard instead. 10:58 to go, second half, 55-47, Vermont with the lead. Herlihy, left wing, triple threat position, ball by his waist-side. Bounces for Duncan, and Darren Payen gets whistled as he goes up. He'll go to the free throw line. Darren Payen, who has been so efficient over the last handful of games, including especially last time out where he had 17 points. Bryce Aiken commits that personal. He now has 4 with 10:48 to go in this game. Aiken, who does not have a point in this second half, 14 in the first half, and Darren Payen hits the front end of the 2-shot foul. He's got 15 points to lead Vermont and a leading candidate for our Morgan Stanley Player of the Game. Payen with 10 field goal attempts. That is a season high. He took 9 against Siena last time out. Second free throw good. And Darren Payen up to 16. His career high is 18. And the fans applauding the effort of Dre Wills as he sits on the pile. Bell-Haynes, Duncan, Payen, Herlihy, Steidel the 5 for the Cats. 10-point lead for Vermont, 57-47. 10:39 to go in the game. Chris Lewis at the far side near the free throw line, even with it. Now Bassey, right elbow, bounce feed, left wing extended for McCarthy. 10 on the shot clock. Siani Chambers looking to find something. Guarded by Bell-Haynes. 5 on the timer. Chambers dashes down the left alley with contact. A floater somehow drops down as Siani Chambers hit the deck, claps his hands. Lead down to 8 for Vermont. 57-49, Vermont with the lead. Nearly lost it. Belhain saves it for Steidel near baseline. Throws it to Duncan, top of the key. Now darts down the right alley, out to Steidel. 3 right wing, front rim. Long rebound out to Belhain, the offensive board. 57-49, Vermont leads. 9:50 to go. Cats eyeing their 10th non-conference win. It would be their most since the 2009-2010 season, as Belhain misses a runner with a right hand. A rebound for Harvard. McCarthy in a hurry down the lane. Slows the tempo. The Crimson, winners of 5 straight games. Towns throws top of the key for McCarthy. 13 on the shot clock. 8-point lead for Vermont, 57-49, 9:18 to go. And an offensive foul on Harvard. That goes against Tommy McCarthy for pushing off, and that's the 6th team foul on the Crimson. Boy, has Vermont dominated this second half. And listen to this crowd as Darren Payen sits down on the bench. My goodness, 16 points for the redshirt senior, who said after the game against Siena, quote, "We feel like our team is slowly gelling, coming together." Coach Becker challenged this second unit quite a bit over the last handful of games, and they are showing up, with Wills pouring in 7 off the bench, Darren Payen with 16. Duncan with possession. Left wing, picks up his dribble, lobs to Lamb, who's been quiet in the second half. At the left block, Lamb double teamed. Throws it top of the key, deflected by Towns. Harvard in transition, 2-on-1. Towns, Euro step, left block, layup is good and 1. And Siani Chambers has been so animated in this second half. Whenever Harvard gets a chance to try and create some sort of run, Chambers the first one to applaud his teammates. So Seth Towns, another opportunity to convert on a 3-point play. Freshman from Columbus, Ohio. The officials actually want to check to see if the basket did count. They're still debating. Harvard clearly thinks it should be an and 1 opportunity. Tommy Amaker having a conversation with one of the officials. They will check that. While we have a moment, we will recognize SB Signs. A big thanks to SB Signs for providing the green and gold signage surrounding our fields and our newly renovated Patrick Gym lobby. SB Signs is the preferred and recommended signage partner of the UVM Athletic Department. And also, the UVM men's basketball team is brought to you by Cannon Solutions America. So they are going to say it was an and 1. Towns will have 1 shot to try and complete the 3-point play. A 6-point lead for Vermont. Towns makes it a 5-point lead. As Seth Towns now in double figures with 10. Belhain, Lamb, Duncan, Urquhart, Herlihy the 5 for Vermont. 8:48 to go in the game. 57-52 Cats in the final non-conference game. Duncan with contact from 5 is good. Ernie Duncan, a double clutch shot. Now with 7 for the redshirt sophomore. Lead back up to 7 for Vermont, 59-52. McCarthy, right block layup, swatted away by Urquhart. Herlihy comes down with a defensive rebound. Crowd loving the defensive effort for the Cats, who at one point in the second half went on a 17-2 run. Duncan, right wing. Ball right by his waist. Throws it to Herlihy, right wing. Head fake, bounce feed, Lamb, right block. Explodes up with a left hand, and it's good. No problem for the freshman. 61-52, and Anthony Lamb is in double figures for the 7th game this season. He's got 10. 61-52, Vermont leads. Towns looking to throw it down from the right block, swatted away by Lamb. A scrum for it underneath the hoop, and it's Vermont ball. Did Seth Towns try to throw that down or what? Drew out the raffle ticket, and Ethan O'Day, of course, graduated this past year, the team's leader in rebounds a season ago. Catamounts with possession. Ernie Duncan, right wing extended. Ball screen right from Urquhart. Now he moves to the right elbow. Steidl off a curl right wing. Three connects. Kurt Steidl excites the crowd with that triple. 64-52 Vermont leads. Chambers looking to counter. Dumps it off for Lewis. A one-hand throwdown. Lead back down to 10. 64-54. 7:12 to go. Cam Ward, crossover dribble at the right wing. Now feeds Urquhart, free throw line. Ball above his head, now throws to Duncan. Whips it past to Urquhart. Left baseline, spin move. Urquhart, nifty footwork. Good off the window. Drew Urquhart with 8 points. 66-54 Vermont leads. Chambers free throw line jumper, front rim, tapped out by Ndosimwa. Or check that, Chris Lewis, a fresh 30 for Harvard. Chambers has been silent in this game with just 5 points. He lays it up. They're going to say there's a foul call, the officials. So Siani Chambers will go to the free throw line. First personal on Cam Ward. Vermont with 3 players in double figures. Darren Payen leads all Vermont players with 16. One shy of a season high. Siani Chambers, the senior, at the free throw line. Knocks down the front end. Siani Chambers had a big game against Vermont in 2013. A career-high 27 points against the Catamounts. That game was played in Cambridge. The last time Harvard came to Burlington was 2014. A double overtime loss to the Crimson for Vermont. Second free throw no good, but Harvard gets the rebound. 66-55 Vermont leads, 6:22 to go in the game. Right wing, 3 for Bassi, side of the rim. Steidl muscles down, the rebound, tipping it to Urquhart. Catamounts lead by 11. Approaching the 6-minute mark in this game, 66-55. Urquhart, right elbow extended, ball above his head, throws to Duncan, free throw line, pulls up, throws it to Lamb. In midair, decided to pass it to Lamb, who explodes up for 2, doesn't go, but a foul. So Lamb, being aggressive, he'll head to the free throw line. When Anthony Lamb reaches double figures this season, Vermont is 4-2. This is the 7th game he's reached double figures. And the Catamounts have an opportunity to conclude the non-conference with a 10th victory. A freshman Lamb sinks the front end of the 2-shot foul. He's averaging 11.3 points per game, coming in second most on the team. He also leads the squad in blocks with 16. 5:56 to go in this second half. 67-55 Vermont leads. Lamb goes 2 for 2 from the line. And Vermont as a team from the charity stripe, about 10 of 12. Very efficient, 83%. Siani Chambers, right elbow. Johnson, right wing to Bassi. Comes around a curl, throws it left wing for Johnson. To Towns, left corner, guarded by Lamb, who's got his paws up in the air. Towns drives the baseline. Out to Bassi, a 3 from the right wing, good. Lead back down to 10 for Harvard, trailing Vermont, 68-58. 5:25 to go in this game. Catamounts looking for their 10th non-conference win to kick off America East play, which starts on January 5th. A road game against Maine. Anthony Lamb inside the key. Out to Ward, 9 on the shot clock. Ball screen, top of the key, Urquhart. Ward dumps it off, and Lamb steps on the baseline as he received that pass. And Lamb and Zina Ndosimwa having a little bit of a conversation with Anthony Lamb. Darren Payen back into the game, who is a leading candidate for our Morgan Stanley Player of the Game. Our points in the Payen update brought to you by Able Paint Glass and Flooring. You need it, they got it. And they're Able, located on Pine Street in downtown Burlington. 38-26, Vermont leads that department. Catamounts have only taken 7 threes in this game. They made 4 of them. Not needing to score from the perimeter in this contest. Justin Bassey, left baseline, now pulls out to the top of the key, swings right wing for Chambers. Just with 6 points for the senior. 11 to shoot for Harvard, looking for their 6th straight win, down by 10, less than 5 to play. Aiken misses a shot from the right block as he hits the deck hard, and a foul call. Coach Becker putting his hands up in the air. As Bryce Aiken, strong freshman, Kurt Steidl picks up his 2nd personal. Chris Lewis will go to the free throw line. The foul was committed after the Aiken shot attempt. So Lewis, a freshman from Alpharetta, Georgia, 2nd on the team in blocks with 14, a 6'9" forward. A rainbow-style free throw is good. Harvard is one of the youngest teams in the country, according to Ken Palm, who, if you're not familiar with him, he really dives into the specifics of statistics. He has this Harvard team as the 10th youngest team in the country, with 13 of their 20 roster players underclassmen, Lewis being one of them. And head coach Tommy Amaker prides recruiting, as he's got a top 15 recruiting class this year, according to ESPN, as Lewis makes the 2nd and a steal. Siani Chambers records Harvard's 1st steal of the game, but a turnover right after the steal as Chambers throws it deflected off of Lamb, and Vermont with possession. 8-point lead for the Catamounts. 4:21 to go. Darren Payen, top of the key, hands off to Dre Wills at the free throw line. Soccer pass right corner, Ward, contested 3, partially deflected by Towns. A rebound for Harvard. Chambers motoring in transition to Bassey, contested right wing 3 is good. And the lead is diced down to 5, 68 to 63. Harvard has made 7 of their 13 threes. 3:53 to go in this game. Steidl double team, rips the ball away from Bassey, tries to sneak between the 2 defenders, lobs it up top to Ward. Down the Lamb at the right block. Backing down Towns, jump shot, fouled from about 5 feet away, and we've reached our final media timeout. Winding down the non-conference slate for the Catamounts.com. 3:40 to go in this game. Catamounts eyeing a 10-5 start to the season, and they would head into America East play with 10 non-conference wins, the most since the 2009-2010 season, as Lamb sinks the front end of the 2-shot foul. Lamb from the free throw line in this game so far, he's been very solid for the Catamounts. A perfect 5 of 5. Has his left wrist taped for tonight's game. And is 6 for 6 from the line. The lead back up to 7. Traybell Haynes back into the game. He replaces Lamb, who high-fives Coach Becker sitting down on the pond. 70-63. Vermont leads Harvard. 3:34 to go in the game. Chambers top of the key. Right elbow. Jump throw left wing for Towns. Lob to left block Lewis. And a foul on the floor before the shot. Fouls goes against Darren Payen, just his first. Chris Lewis will go to the free throw line. Lewis with 14 points to match Bryce Aiken. Aiken silent in this 2nd half without a point. He comes in as the team's leading scorer. Lewis misses the front end of the 1-and-1. Payen with a rebound. Catamounts can slow the pace. 3:20 to go in the game. 70-63 over Harvard. The Crimson, their 5-game winning streak is on the line. Bell Haynes sends it top of the key. Ernie Duncan with 7 points. 10 on the shot clock. Duncan top of the key. Darts down the left alley. Dumps it off. Wills floater in and out from 5 feet away. Wills rips down the rebound. And they're going to call a foul, as Wills was fighting with Chris Lewis underneath. And Lewis picks up his 3rd. So Dre Wills will go to the free throw line, where he's just a 52% free throw shooter and a 1-and-1 opportunity. Harvard beat Houston, if you want to compare the non-conference schedule, as Wills misses the front end to rebound for Harvard. Harvard beat Houston by a point. Vermont lost to Houston by a point. That's the margin of these two teams, both very talented. Lewis, right block, floats one up too strong. Wills rips down the rebound. Less than 3 to play. 70-63, Vermont leads. 2:40 to go in the game. Belhanes, scoreless in the contest. A runner with a right hand, strong inside the key. Payen is bumped on the floor trying to get the rebound. The Catamounts with just 7 turnovers. That is their season low in turnovers, so if they cannot turn the ball over again, it would tie a season low. That was against Eastern Michigan. Darren Payen shooting 2, an opportunity to tie his career high. He knocks down the first to tie his season high, which is 17. The redshirt senior pounds the rock a couple of times. This place gets silent. You can hear a pin drop. And Darren Payen with that free throw has matched his career high with 18 points. Vermont leads 72-63, 2:30 to go. Bryce Aiken looking for his first field goal in the second half, the team's leading scorer. Harsh defense from Trey Wills, who nods his head. Really confident in that matchup. Towns, right wing. Spin move on Steidl, right elbow, picks up his dribble. Steidl looking to rip the ball away, and he causes it travel. Cats ball. A motion off the bench, on the court, and the Catamounts with this 9-point lead at 72-63. 2:14 to go in the game. Justin Bassey pressuring Ernie Duncan as he jogs across midcourt. Duncan top of the key. Pedals back at the right wing extended. Approaching the 2-minute mark. Duncan top of the key, crosses over on Bassey. One more crossover move, a couple of them. Duncan doing it all by himself, finds Darren Payen at the free throw line. With 5 to shoot, Payen looking to be aggressive. Left block layup, no. Tip in from Wills, just out. Almost squirted down the cylinder, but a rebound for Harvard. Towns on the other end, behind the back dribble. Left block, shot rejected. A tomahawk swat from Darren Payen. And Vermont controls the final, a buck 30. 72-63, and the fans rise to their feet, more than 2,000. Duncan, right wing extended, down the alley. Out to Steidl at the left wing, now 15-foot jumper, buries it. Kurt Steidl with 16 points of his own. 74-63 Vermont. Chambers dumps off. Lewis right block layup strong. Lewis gets his offensive rebound and hits. Timeout Harvard. But boy, oh boy, has Vermont been up to the task in the final non-activity from their bench players with the absence of Peyton Henson. Full court pressure from Harvard. The inbounds does go to Steidl, who is double teamed and throws it to Duncan, who motors across midcourt. Final minute of play. Duncan at the left wing. Now in the corner, double team. Swoops a pass, somehow ends up in the pocket of Belhanes, who may have just put the icing on the cake. The first field goal of the game for Belhanes. A tip pass, almost Steidl able to re-grab it, out of bounds, and frustration amounts for Harvard. 76-65, Vermont's well in control and well on their way to a 10th and final non-conference win. Darren Payen catches the inbounds pass and is fouled by Chris Lewis. 41.2 seconds left. With this win, it would match the most non-conference wins in Vermont basketball history. They'll begin America East play on Thursday with a trip to Maine. Then they'll come home for their conference opener on January 8th, a Sunday 4 o'clock tip against Hartford. As Coach Becker clapping his hands, applauding what passion and what heart this Vermont team has translated from 2016 to the start of 2017. Payen at the free throw line. Makes the first, and he has a new career high. 19 points for the redshirt senior. A chance to get to 20. Bends and extends and does. 20 points for Darren Payen. Vermont extends its lead to 13, 78-65. Towns, desperation 3 straight away, back iron. And Payen rips down the defensive board for Vermont, and a foul is committed. Darren Payen becomes the 4th Catamount player this season to reach 20 points in a game. The other 3, Ernie Duncan, Peyton Henson, and Anthony Lamb. And now Payen has an opportunity to extend his career high even more with 2 free throws. Misses off the back iron on the front end, but Vermont has been very efficient from the line. 16 of 20, 80% from the charity stripe. Payen rattles home the second, a career high 21 points for the redshirt senior, who gets a fist pump and an applause from this crowd. What a game for Darren Payen. 79-65. Chambers lays it in with the left hand. 79-67. Will Harvard pull off the troops? They look like they still want to pressure and commit a foul to make Vermont really seal the deal, as McCarthy fouls Kurt Steidl. Steidl with 16 points in this game. He is 8 points shy of 1,000 on his career, and has a chance to be within 6 points if he can make both these free throws. Steidl, a senior from Ridgefield, Connecticut. If you look at the scoring for Vermont, well distributed. Steidl makes the first of 2 here. 21 points for Darren Payen, 16 for Steidl, 14 from Anthony Lamb. Urquhart pouring in 8. Second free throw no good. 80-67. Vermont with the lead. Chambers a scoop and a score. 11-point lead, and Harvard still not giving up with 18.3 seconds left. Here's a heave. Hail Mary pass to Bell Haynes, to Steidl, back to Bell Haynes, who lays it in. 82-69. The other way. Aiken with his first field goal coming with 12 seconds left of the game in the second half. He had 14 first half points and just 2 in the second. Catamounts did a great job of shutting down Harvard's leading scorer in the second half, as the fans rise to their feet, all 2,312. Catamounts start 2017 with a bang to conclude the non-conference in 82-71 win over Harvard, as Vermont improves to 10-5.